Hello everyone. Today's topic is women in armed forces. Well, this topic has been in the news in the recent times because Supreme Court passed its judgment that women will be inducted in the National Defense Academy and they will serve as permanent officers in the Indian Armed Forces. So, uh, because including women in various sectors of the economy is very important because if we do not include women efficiently in various sectors of the economy, then we will lack the 50% capable and efficient workforce in the country. So it is very important, and the armed forces are no exception. And the policymakers and the courts, so like Supreme Court, are also recognizing the fact that that the recruitment of women must be done in the Indian Armed Forces, and slowly we are progressing in that way also. So, so in but it was not like that from the beginning. In the 1950s, that was the initial days of the Indian Armed Forces. Then there was almost no presence of women in the Indian Armed Forces. Only only uh, only the army medical corps consisted of some women, but after that in 1992 women were given a chance to serve in as officers in the army or navy or air force as short service commission officers. So this was a good step that was. And after that in 2008, women got a chance to serve as as permanent commissioned officers as in the dental and educational corps of the army. And after that in 2020, the Supreme Court declared that women will be an integral part of armed forces from now, and they will be inducted as permanent commission officers. But there is an exception that women will not be in the infantry, uh, will not be inducted in the combat units. So like we all know, in present times, special forces like para special forces, Marcos, and NSG, and also the Garud forces does not include any women because these are combat specialized forces, and as per the guidelines of the government and the policymakers, women are right now not inducted in the combat units. So, and also there was an achievement, and that was well advertised by the government as well, and that is good to advertise such things also. That in 2015, 2015, women got a chance in the Indian Air Force to fly fighter jets. Prior to that, the women officers only flight helicopters and transport aircraft. But after 2015, the rapid recruitment of women as fighter aircraft pilots in the Indian Armed Forces is being in the Air Force is being done by Air Force. So these were all of the achievements. Talking about the world, then some developed countries like US, like Israel, the big powerhouses of military, their women are serving in the armed forces very efficiently and on a large scale. In the case of Israel, there is a there is a permanent military training for everyone, and women's are no exception in that. All the women's in Israel are capable enough to join military because they are trained for that for 2 years. That is a good thing. And talking about India, then India lags behind, but India is very ahead of the countries of some radicalized and conservative countries like Pakistan, uh, like like the Middle East country UAE, Qatar. They don't include women in their armed forces at all. But India is doing its part very well, and there are a lot of women officers as well as soldiers in the Indian Armed Forces right now. Talking about the challenges and the shortcomings of inductance of women in the armed forces is number one, and the major one is the physical difference, because it is a well-known fact that an average woman is lacks very much as compared to an average man as we compare them with their physical capabilities, because in the armed forces physical capabilities matters a lot. Because in combat and all these things physical capabilities are the defining factors. So that is the thing that where women lack. And also there are some other challenges also, like the social stigma. According to the social structure of this country, women must work in either in their own households, or even if outside the household, then in secured sectors like the education sectors, like medical fields, and like some desk jobs. Those are the jobs that are considered for women. But uh, but a woman going in the armed forces is a thing that the society does not recognize as good. So we all are aware of these things, but these things must be eradicated from the society slowly and steadily. And I think the best way to do so is by setting examples, because we have seen in the recent times there are several examples. The first pilot who flight the aircraft in 2015, a women pilot, was a very good example for that. And there are many very decorated women officers, senior women officers, who can also be an example for that. Because Indian society, as per the experts, is inspired through storytelling. So by storytelling of such decorated women officers, we can motivate and slowly change the perception of the society. That's how this social stigma factor can also be eradicated. So that was all about inductance of women officers and soldiers in the Indian Armed Forces. Thank you very much.